Context. Context is what we are here to bring you. For a lot of people outside of the Fulton County area, you just don't realize how big those two faces you saw in that image are here. That is the Fulton County Commissioner, Miss Natalie Hall, and the Fulton County District Attorney, Miss Fani Willis. Both of these individuals find themselves in the middle of some salacious details and right before an election that they're both going to have to serve up. And it's not a good look for the city. It's definitely not a good look for them. We're not going to get too deep into the salacious details about Miss Willis, as that case is still there to be determined. But we're going to talk about what led Natalie Hall here first. This is Antoine Anderson, and you're tuned into the Ujamaa Network. Let's talk. Fulton County politics is a contact sport. There's no getting around that. There are two high-profile cases that are happening right now that involve two very powerful women who are in positions of powers over the literal heart of the city and its judicial city. We're talking, of course, about Natalie Hall and Fani Willis. Natalie Hall, let's start with her. Natalie is a commissioner of District 4 in the city of Atlanta. District 4 comprises all of the downtown, midtown area, the Falcons Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Staples Center, all the restaurants, all the hotels that you stay at and eat at when you come to visit this town, and far out as far as Fulton Industrial Boulevard. This is a vast voting district, and its resources generate a lot of tourism for the city. And it is this district that is going to have to put over a $1 million judgment because Natalie Hall was found guilty of sexual discrimination after having an affair with her chief of staff, someone she hired. And as she was having this relationship with Calvin Brock, the person who is going to be receiving the bulk of that $1 million, she terminated him when he broke it off. And that is going to cost the city, the taxpayers, not her, the city. She was found guilty of sexual discrimination, but he sued the county commission. That is a very bad look on any way you shape it, any way you try to talk it up. It just doesn't sit well. And after this judgment was handled down, it was a brief segment of how she reacted to a very well-known reporter. Let's take a look at that.
Commissioner Natalie Hall smacked my hand hard as I tried to ask her about the judge's ruling finding her guilty of sexual discrimination against her former chief of staff, Calvin Brock. Other commissioners say her reaction was highly disappointing.
If you will have that reaction with a person, a well-known person in the media here, what will you do with John T. Public?
Now, how well connected was Natalie Hall, or is Natalie Hall? Again, she's still the commissioner until the next election. But who was she really? Well, she was the former wife of councilman and then actually representative, U.S. Representative Kwanzaa Hall. Kwanzaa Hall was elected to fulfill the remaining tenure of the late, great John Lewis, who is the U.S. House of Representatives representative from this great district here in Fulton County before his passing. Prior to his appointment, Mr. Kwanzaa Hall's appointment, he sat on the city council. So you had a commissioner and a city councilman who were literally husband and wife and serving Fulton County to the best of their ability. So we thought. Married couple, power couple. What happened? Well, we don't know. We don't need to speculate, but we know what ended up happening to the taxpayers after all this went down. The divorce was filed sometime, I believe it was in 2000, and 18 or 19. Can't be sure of that, but I know that they were married up until 2017, Kwanzaa Hall and Natalie Hall, and this was a blow to that political scene, but it just gets to the meat of what we're talking about today, how these scandals just come up out of nowhere and end up costing taxpayers the money for these transgressions. Now, if that wasn't enough, we now have to move on to Fani Willis. And you have been following the details of this case, and it's no secret that she and the lead prosecutor had a romantic affair either before or after she hired this individual to be the lead prosecutor on the Georgia elections interference case. Now, that's what the judge is currently deciding. Unlike the Natalie Hall case, we're in the middle of a 2-week stay while Judge McAfee kind of reviews the evidence and see if there was any enrichment, because that's what we're talking about, not the affair. They admitted to the affair, but the enrichment, getting paid off of what she was overpaying or allegedly overpaying Nathan Wade. This has the salaciousness that is the stuff of daytime drama, soap opera stuff. And it is all coming to a head right here in Fulton County at a time we least can afford it. And as well for Fani Willis, this is an election year for Fani Willis. Any amount of taint or stain or scandal is going to have to follow her into an election. Even if this case were to successfully go on as it is scheduled, we are getting dangerously close to elections for both the president and the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. He has to run and win to continue this case. Now, it will be handed off to the next Fulton County DA if it does, in fact, stay in the county. But odds are not looking too great that it will, considering what the hearing had to say yesterday. And again, this is all subject to opinion, but these are things that are currently being adjudicated. And there's a lot going on here. And we don't have to get into the salaciousness of the details themselves, but what we do have to acknowledge is that this is a stain on the great city of Atlanta. And it is looking more and more like the hot mess that it is because everybody knows each other. Even the person that brought these charges against Wade and Willis, she was campaigning for Mr. Wade himself. When he ran for judge in 2016, it's just mess. There are no permanent friends, just permanent interests. Someone once said, it is crazy how that is ringing true today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And you can get into whether or not this is just an example of power corrupting and absolute power corrupting absolutely. Very powerful, high-powered Black women running stuff and being done in by their own relationships. I'll leave that conversation for the red pill people, but you can look at it for yourself and see what's going on here. 2 of these cases in 1 year in one county. It's not a good look. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments, like, subscriptions. Go ahead. Talk to you later.